Good morning. It's the 25th of June, 2023. And I just, wanted to continue on this theme of simulation and the two who are one. So in a recent video that I made a video on the simulation and AI and all that bullshit. All that stuff. And then I made a video on the nature of this physical plane. And then as a plane. And as a toroidal field. As a plane and a toroidal field. And then in that, I included Mother and Sri Aurobindo, and then a friend of mine, someone who I had gotten a lot of inspiration from over the years, Randall Kaiser, because I was always really fascinated taken by his joyfulness, and then also he seems to have a handle on something to do with true economy, or like the true nature of banking as a practical expression of abundance. Or what's the use? I mean, I do know the use. Like, I know all about the abundance attitude and stuff, but it has to get organized. It has to get organized in matter. So anyway, that I feel I can learn more. He made a video, kind of a not an answering video, but a further, like, he took the inspiration about simulation, and he spoke about two who are one, not the one but the two, and he really caught it, because it's coming back to Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And this, I thought today I'll read, it's already here so nicely from the Orama website. Alok Pandey had done a talk on the two who are one from Savitri. So I'll put my glasses back on. This is from book 1, the book of beginnings of Savitri. Savitri, the epic poem by Sri Aurobindo. So this is book 1, the book of beginnings. Canto 4, the secret knowledge. The two who are one. So he gave these opening remarks. I'll also just give this link. I'm going to read from his website, but it's so nice. And as well, I'll give it some voice and face. Okay, so his opening remarks. Having revealed to us the essential unity, capital U, of creation because of the one divine presence within it, Sri Aurobindo now reveals to us also the fundamental unity between the static and dynamic aspects of the creation. That is to say, between the divine reality behind it and the divine force that has gone into it. The two who are one. And then he quotes Savitri. There are two who are one in the play in many worlds. In knowledge and ignorance they have spoken and met, and light and darkness are their eyes' interchange. Our pleasure and pain are their wrestle and embrace. Our deeds, our hopes, are intimate to their tale. They are married secretly in our thought and life. Then Dr. Pandey goes on to say, the divine is one, but manifests on each plane as the dual play of Purusha and Prakriti, soul and nature, idea and force, that executes the idea. This dual truth of the one divine exists not only in this world of ignorance, we live in a world of ignorance, but also in the higher worlds of knowledge as Ishvara and Shakti. They represent the passive and dynamic, or, as is sometimes represented, the masculine or the witness aspect, and the feminine or the executing power. In the higher worlds, they are united and act in perfect harmony, but here, covered by ignorance, capital I, ignorance, and diminished in knowledge and power. Nature struggles to recover the original rhythm and hence dives into pleasure and pain to discover the touch of bliss that can only come by their ascension to the higher state where perfect harmony is spontaneous and natural. He goes on to quote Savitri. The universe is an endless masquerade, for nothing here is utterly what it seems. It is a dream fact, vision of a truth, which, but for the dream, would not be wholly true. Entirely true, wholly true. Dr. Pandey goes on to say, comment, that is to say, all creation is the play of these two who are one. All manifestation is an objectivization of the unmanifest, capital U, unmanifest. And yet, it is needed, for without it, something would be missed in the fullness and perfection of truth, capital T, truth. The total truth, or the integral reality, is that which sees the unmanifest and the manifest, God and the world, creator and the creation, as one single reality. The world is real because it is a becoming of the divine who is real. Even if we call it a dream, then it is a dream of the Lord that is more real than our gross earthly realities. And he goes on and gives these closing remarks, Dr. Pandey does. Since the creation and the creator, the witness self and the force that works out the dreams of God are again essentially one. Therefore, creation is bound to realize its divine state of existence one day. This is the fundamental truth we need to remember, the truth which is also the logic of transformation. So there we have it. I started the exploration about simulation, like having been exposed so much to Sri Aurobindo and Savitri, so it was all kind of there somewhere, and I was just putting it together, piecing it, together in my own way. But this pretty much solves the whole thing about simulation, and Sri Aurobindo solved everything. It's so wholesome. But yeah, that's on the two who are one. And probably I could just go on and on reciting from Savitri. Actually, when I read it, I realize that's it. And maybe I could just read more from Savitri on this channel, or bring it out, or, highlight some parts which are really inspiring. But it's there. This Savitri is there, and actually it answers so many questions in the ultimate way. So I'm just looking at that, like as I started to read more, and I myself have only, I've not engaged with it, like it's just there. It's so beautiful. But for today, that's it. And in the future, maybe I'll just take the chance to read more, or direct people to different resources that I find really inspiring. There are a lot. There are quite a few.